Hello, this is Group 3's presentation on an analysis of government regulation on embryonic stem cells in Sweden, Germany, Iran, and Israel. Our group members are Andrew Culbertson, Alex Rabold, Allison Cheney, Caleb McCord, Michaela Woods, Stephanie Patzelt, Toby Ola, and Zachary Steele. We hope you enjoy.
This slide outlines Swedish law and United States law on embryonic stem cells. So Swedish law permits access to ES cells through excess IVF donation or through the process of cloning, also known as somatic cell nuclear transfer, or SCNT. Consent is required from the people who have donated the eggs and the people conducting the research before the fertilization of the egg can occur. Research must also be conducted within 2 weeks of fertilization. There are no laws restricting public funding for ES cells or restricting importation of ES cells. Therapeutic stem cell cloning is legal, however, reproductive cloning is not. Sweden's ideology contributes to a more left-wing stance on ES cell law due to the prominence of left-wing parties in Sweden. Some similarities between Swedish and United States law is that the somatic cell nuclear transfer process is legal in both countries. You can gain access to embryonic stem cells through IVF donation, and both countries ban reproductive cloning. Some differences are that U.S. laws vary by state, some states banning ES cells entirely. U.S. laws also tend to be more regulatory, that requires researchers and clinics to be checked and evaluated. Finally, there is a restriction on government funding on ES cells and therapeutic cloning. There are no such restrictive laws of the same kind in Sweden. Thank you.
Next up in our presentation, we have Germany. Germany allows for embryonic stem cells to be derived from excess in vitro fertilization embryos and researched. However, they do require that such embryos be imported, not created in Germany, and have a production date of before January 1st, 2002. There are no provisions regarding the usage of public or private funding, and, in fact, recently there has been an increase in both types of funds for the study of embryonic stem cells. The importation of embryonic stem cells is permitted and encouraged in Germany on behalf of the Embryonic Stem Cell Act, which permits the importation of embryonic stem cells that are separated from in vitro fertilization embryos for research reasons. In Germany, both therapeutic and reproductive cloning are illegal. Embryonic stem cells have the restrictions they do in Germany because the country is primarily Christian, with Catholic as the majority. As such, the ideology of the government reflects this by disallowing the creation of new embryonic stem cells, as it goes against their predominantly Catholic beliefs. This caused most of Germany's funding to be funneled into studies on adult stem cells, and in the process, over 50% of Germany's stem cell researchers left the country. The only true difference between the U.S.'s policies and Germany's is that the U.S. allows embryonic stem cell creation via private funding, and Germany disallows it entirely, requiring importation instead.
In Iran, the derivation of human embryos from excess IVF embryos is permitted. Permissibility is conditional on the use of supernumerary pre-embryos obtained from clinics. Dr. Fidel states that Islam has always encouraged scientific research, particularly research directed toward finding cures for human diseases. Based on the experience of potential benefits, Islamic teachings permit and support human embryonic stem cell research. Iran has an issue with the abuse of scientific research for legal benefits due to the lack of legal framework. Although there are no rules directed at stem cell research, many Muslims are in favor of the research because they believe the embryos do not yet have souls until later development, while others are against it and believe that it is immoral.
In Israel, they allow the support and creation of human ES cell lines from human embryos by giving a financial compensation to those who donate. However, they do not allow it for private support. Cloning is illegal in Israel. However, the use of SCNT created stem cells is allowed for research after reviewed by an ethics committee. In Judaism, it is God's command to preserve human life. The research of stem cells provides possible cures for diseases, which is in line with this goal. Judaism also doesn't consider embryos to be as human as early as other ideologies do.
We would like to close out our presentation with our 2 reference slides, which contain all of the information we used to make this presentation. We hope you enjoyed.